Become an expert in choosing the right mutual funds. Watch this video in full and you will leave as an expert at the end of this video. Subscribe us to get latest and new updates about business news, stocks and mutual funds and other finance-related information. Let's get into the stuff. We have designed and developed a website that is exclusively for stocks and mutual funds, and the name of the website is Funds Learning, IN. We are very curious to show our insights and data points that we collected and structured. Hit our website Funds Learning, IN. You can see from the menu, we have list of selections. We are almost done with most of them, but some are under construction. Go to the Insights portion. Now you can see the breakdown of each and every segment of mutual funds. There are around 799 mutual funds available for direct purchase, and remember, this data might vary in future when some fund manager introduces a new fund to the market. There are 6 risk types, 27 asset management companies, 186 benchmark, and 1638 companies involved as whole. To make things simple, mutual fund is nothing but a group of stocks. And it subjects to particular benchmark and behaves, performs accordingly based on the market movement. Let's get into asset management company section. As said, there are 27 AMCs, Quant, Templeton, Motilal, Canara, SBI, ICICI, HDFC, etc. We have 2 selection, one is the average returns and other is the categories. If I opt for categories, see ICIC tops with 74 categories in it. And if you want to see what are all the categories, select the average returns. We can see the categories with average returns of the same. For ICICI, we have Equity Thematic MNC, which provides average returns of 24.44%, Equity Sectoral Technology, which provides the returns of 23.32%, and so on. Similarly, for SBI, we have 46 categories, and so the average returns. Now let's scroll down to Returns section. This section completely speaks about percentage of returns provided by each mutual funds and how well they have been categorized. We have categorized into 5 types. First one, funds that provide 5 to 10% returns, and we have 311 funds under it. Second, funds with 10 to 20%, and we have 305 funds. Third, funds that provides less than 5% returns, 122 funds with that category. Number 4, 51 funds that provides 20 to 30% returns. And the last, 10 funds with more than 30% returns. Higher the returns, higher the risk. Now let's move on to the benchmark section, where benchmark is nothing but an index that is used to measure the fund's performance. So we have 186 different benchmarks, and we have 2 different filter selection. One is with number of funds and other one with returns. By default, all will be in place. And you can see Nifty 500 TRI tops the chart, where 68 funds comes under the same category. This is one important selection that we need to consider, is because if we invest in same benchmark on different funds, that the impact would be double. That is the reason we have to be careful in seeing the benchmark before we invest in new funds. If we have already invested in this particular benchmark, we don't have to go with same once again. So, if I select the drop-down return percent, you can see Nifty India Manufacturing TRI tops, as it provides the highest return numbers, 28.5% among all 186 benchmarks, and there is only one mutual fund that is aligned with this benchmark. If you want to see the Nifty 50 benchmark and its returns, you can select from the drop-down. Next, we will walk through the NAV section, where we have categorized NAV into 5 types. NAV less than NFO. NAV less than 50, NAV greater than 50 and less than 100, NAV greater than 100 and less than 500, NAV greater than 500, and these are the number of funds that comes under each category. Higher the NAV, lesser the unit that you will be purchasing. Lesser than NAV, higher the units that you will purchase. It's not mandatory to select a fund with lower NAV. The selection should be mainly done based on the performance and returns that it yields. This is the important section, Riskometer. Red smiley to green smiley tells about the risk involved in the funds, whether it is aggressive or moderate or low risk. Hovering on each smileys provides the number of funds that comes under each category. Clearly we can see that there are more number of high-risk funds when compared to low risk. This is one good and interesting section. Sector. Sectoral of a fund gets decided based on the companies grouped under each funds. If it is a Nifty 50 or Sensex funds, we can have financial, energy, technology, consumer staple, automobile, etc. Next section is companies, one main and interesting category in mutual funds. Group of stocks makes a mutual fund if we cherry pick the companies out from here based on their top performance metrics, and if we collide and mark it under a particular benchmark that forms a mutual fund. Market cap. This is nothing but the companies that comes under which capitalization, whether they are a large cap or mid or small cap. If you hover on these, we can see that large cap and its number of benchmarks that comes under this, along with its average returns, and same for other caps as well. The next section is debt holdings. This is plenty as we have 350 debt holders. These are nothing but the fixed income instruments, which means if their proportion is huge in the mutual funds, then the risk involved is less and the returns that the fund has subjected will be attained for sure. You can select debt holders from the drop-down and check for their occurrences in which number of funds. The next is debt credit quality. It just speaks about the creditworthiness of the bond or a bond portfolio. Higher the credit, higher the safety, and vice versa. Next is performance indicators. Yes, we have opted a search criteria for this section. You can search for a fund and check their performance indicators such as standard deviation, alpha, beta, Sharpe, and Sortino. We will add some more data points and insights for mutual funds, and that will surely help you in choosing the right and best mutual fund. Subscribe us in YouTube, follow on Instagram, Twitter, Medium, Quora. Stay notified for more data. Thank you.